So there's this old saying, and I'm sure you've probably heard it, that comparison is a thief of joy. And I'd have to agree. I recently was going through um, Instagram and came across an old friend's IG and watched some video that he had put up there recently, maybe within the last year or so. And in my mind, I'm thinking about all the things that I've done over the last few years, the position that I'm currently in, and where I could have been had I made better choices and so on and so forth. Had I been a bit more intentional about the things that I was doing with my life and the way that I was spending my money and my use of funds, because I had access to a lot of money and a lot of capital. I wasn't a good steward of the money that was given to me and provided to me, that opportunity to have. And so I'm reflecting on those mistakes that were made, and then I'm comparing myself to this individual and the choices that they made with their funds and the money that was given to them or provided that they worked for. I can't keep saying given, because he worked for the money. I worked for my money, like the money that was worked for and earned, that I earned. The reality is we all have our own stories. We all have our own journeys. We all have our own path that we're going to travel down. And the destination is different for each and every person. My destination is going to be different from yours, so on and so forth. And you get to choose the route you take to get to your destination. And if it's going to be more difficult, or if you make it a little more simple for yourself. I just happen to choose my path and make it a lot more complicated than it probably needed to be. But that's just the reality that I'm in right now. I can't change anything about, what has happened in the past. I can only look forward, especially if I'm headed in a certain direction. Like, looking back's not going to get me there at all. Like, I got to keep my head focused towards the goal, towards where I'm trying to be. And so that's the objective. And if you're watching this, that could be something that you're dealing with right now. You're someone who, you're looking back into the past and thinking like, damn, what did I do to get here, and so on and so forth. Like, how did I end up in this position or whatever? Like, how do I get out of this position? And I'm here to tell you, like, everything will be cool. Everything will be all right. You'll be fine. You'll make it out of this position. You'll do what you got to do, put in the work, and you will get out of this. You'll make it through to the other side. And that's something I always got to tell myself too. I always got to remind myself, like, one, things could always be worse. They could be better, but they could also always be worse. There are a lot of people who are in a lot worse positions than I'm in currently. Not that I'm in a terrible position, but I've put myself in somewhat of a hole that I need to climb out of. Two, I'm able-bodied. I can speak. I'm able to pull myself up out of this situation. Like, I'm not stuck in this forever. I'm not going to dwell in it, so on and so forth. I'm just going to put in the work that I need to put in order to get out of this position, in order to move forward and get to a better position in life. And get to the goals that I have outlined for myself. So those are the things that I'm focused on, is like really just, taking the actions that are needed to be taken in order to get the results that I'm looking to get. You got to be consistent. You got to stay on the path. You can't, you see other people fall off. Cool, that's their journey. You keep it moving. You keep it pushing. You keep it going. And that's where I'm at. Like, this year so far has been my least productive when it comes to being active physically in the gym for a couple of different reasons, but I felt like I was losing a lot of the strength that I had built. Now, was I truly? Probably not, but I had been so consistent for so long, we're talking years at this point, that if I spend 15 days not going to the gym, I feel like something's going on. Like, I feel like I'm losing my drive and my passion to actually go and achieve the results that I want to achieve by, being physically active and working out, pushing these muscles to strengthen them. And for me, things outside of the gym are the exact same. Like, if I go back in time and my with my mindset, my mentality, when I was younger, I was an avid reader. I enjoyed learning. I still enjoy learning. I do that more so through podcasts these days than I do through reading books. Although I did start this again last night, or not start it, but I picked it back up and started reading it again. And you know, my whole thing is I just want to continue to evolve, and by doing that, by educating myself or learning new information, that's how I will continue to evolve. And then through that evolution, I want to come back to you guys, come back to this channel, and like put out what I earn into the, or excuse me, what I learned out into the world, and exchange that energy. So that's the goal. I kind of want to see what will happen if I actually document my journey for the next year. Like, what will the results be from documenting my journey on YouTube for the next year? You know, when I was 23, 24, I had this idea because I was thinking like, you know what? I want to be a millionaire by 25. What if I take a camera and record the process of putting in the work and effort to try to build an online business to make $1 million by 25? What if I document that and say millionaire by 25, that's the goal. And then I document it and I like record the journey. And that was something that I thought about when I was like 23, 24. But fear had me not actually act on that idea. And I'm done with that. Like, I'm done not acting out of fear. And so this is my proclamation to the world, to myself, that I'm no longer acting out of fear, but I'm acting out of courageousness. And I'm going to make sure that I actually document the journey right now. What is it? February 19th, 2025. So February 19th, 2026. I want to be able to upload a video to YouTube and show, or just so it's not even for no one else, only for myself, to see how much of a growth, how much change have I incurred, how much growth have I had from today, 2025, to February 19th, 2026. That's not to say that I'm going to record and document like literally every single day of my life for this year. But what I will do is I will keep the world up to date. And when I say the world, I mean YouTube and this channel specifically, up to date on the things I'm reading, what I'm eating, what my fitness journey is going, what my financial journey is looking like as far as getting out of debt and financial growth, as far as income, like all of those things, spiritually, like what I'm doing to try to evolve in that way, like in all of these different areas of life. I will be sharing and documenting this with this channel in order to see how much growth I will have in a year, specifically on YouTube, because I want to know. I've seen people talk about how YouTube changed their lives within the last 6 months, or just in general, like recording on YouTube and putting out a video every day or whatever, just like uploading videos to YouTube has changed their life. And I want to see if it is truly possible. So this is an experiment for myself, but also to share with you all, to see how much life can change by actually documenting your journey of whatever it is that you're looking to accomplish and achieve. And for me, it's just overall growth. It's overall evolution, advancement within career, within, finance, physical, like all of that type of stuff. And we'll see what happens.